Hi, it's Danielle at Edge EA, where we love working with business owners and busy individuals to help them stop doing it all and start achieving more. So if you're considering working with a virtual assistant, it's only natural that you're going to be thinking about what might go wrong. And in this video, I'm going to cover the top 5 things that I see go wrong most commonly. So the first one, as you'd expect, is miscommunication. So not just in a virtual assistant client relationship, but in any kind of relationship, the top issue tends to be miscommunication. So that could be somebody mishearing something, misunderstanding something, and that's why it's really important to double check things, especially in the early days. So maybe in the first 3 months where you're still getting to know your VA is still getting to know you and how you operate. And so double checking things isn't going to get on anybody's nerves, isn't going to upset anybody. It's really there to make sure that the work is getting done accurately and effectively. Like I say, it could be a simple case of mishearing something, and bear in mind that nobody's a mind reader, so making sure that things are clearly communicated is key. The second thing is when a client experiences that a VA might be MIA, missing in action. So I think it's really important to have regular touch points, so regular check-ins with your VA. Maybe that's once a week or maybe that's once a fortnight, but something to aim to so that one, you're held accountable and so is the VA, but also to make sure that you don't feel that they've gone missing in action, that there's a point where you're going to meet up because that's already been pre-arranged. But bearing in mind that VAs are juggling several client workloads, so they won't just have the things that they do for you to manage, they'll be doing that for other clients too. So if they do have quiet periods and maybe they've not communicated, I think don't be alarmed straight away, but of course make sure that you keep in regular contact with your VA and that you have an open line to each other. The third issue is tech issues. So of course, technology enables the client virtual assistant relationship in the first place. But as we all know, we can all hit tech stumbling blocks. And so it could be a matter of a task that you think is going to be really quick to complete, actually takes the VA quite a long time because they've hit a brick wall getting access to the passwords or downloading the software, and they've had to maybe raise a ticket with the software provider. So sometimes there are tech issues. So again, being patient when those arise and being understanding and making sure that your virtual assistant has got all they need. Have they got the passwords? Do they need an additional 2-form factor authentication from you on your mobile phone? So maybe synchronizing some time to get that nailed down. And again, these things tend to happen in the first couple of months, but they could really happen at any time. The number 4 most common issue between a client and a VA tends to be a mismatch of personality. So we might have a virtual assistant who is absolutely capable in all the ways, the skills, delivering those tasks, but for whatever reason, the personality match just isn't right. And sometimes you can't put your finger on it. It's just one of those things. But that's why speaking to a service provider, a VA, beforehand, having that discovery call, doing all of that before signing the agreement can go a long way to trying to iron out who you think you're going to work well with. And the 5th most common issue with having a VA is trust issues. And I see this where clients want a virtual assistant, they want someone to help them with tasks, but they really struggle to trust letting this other person in. And so what they might do is they might withhold some information, they might not share everything fully and openly. Now, of course, a virtual assistant doesn't need to know everything, but they do need to know the information that enables them to complete their function properly. Ultimately, you're paying for a service, and the more efficient that the VA can be, the better all round. If they're not efficient, if they're not trusted, they are soon going to be inefficient and the relationship will go downhill. But being able to trust your virtual assistant is absolutely key. And questioning yourself as a client, are you ready to delegate? That's a really important question to make sure that you are ready to invite somebody into your business or your life, depending on what tasks you need doing. And if you are, fantastic, but really checking that you are at that stage. Because again, the only way that a virtual assistant can support you properly and fully is for them to be trusted to do the tasks that you've asked them to do.